Samsung just made the Galaxy S26 Ultra official. And if you've been following the reactions, it's split. Some people are saying it's underwhelming. Others are calling it a polished masterpiece. But I think both sides are missing something important. Because this year isn't about adding more. It's about refining what already works. And that changes how you judge this phone completely. Let's get into it. The design, small changes that matter. At first glance, it looks like the S25 Ultra. Same camera layout, same Ultra identity, but the details are different. It's thinner, it's lighter, and the corners are slightly more rounded. Now, that might not sound exciting, but if you've ever used an Ultra daily, you know these phones are big. Even small ergonomic tweaks make a difference over long usage. And here's what makes this interesting. Samsung reduced weight and thickness without reducing the battery size. That's not accidental. That's internal restructuring, which brings us to something deeper. Performance, power without chaos, Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, global, no chip split. That alone simplifies the buying decision. Early benchmarks look strong, but raw numbers don't excite me anymore because we've reached a point where performance is already overkill. The real question is consistency. Can it maintain performance during gaming, avoid thermal throttling, stay smooth after months of updates? Because here's what's impressive. Samsung made the phone thinner, kept the battery the same, increased charging speed, and added a stronger chip. That combination usually creates heat problems. So either Samsung significantly improved thermal management, or they're relying heavily on chip efficiency improvements. We won't know until stress testing. But that balance is where the real story is hiding. Cameras, the quiet upgrade. Now let's talk cameras. Yes, it's still 200 megapixels, but megapixels stopped being the story years ago. The real change is aperture. The main sensor now opens wider. That means more light, cleaner low-light shots, better natural subject separation. The periscope camera also gets brighter. And that's important because zoom photography usually struggles in darker environments. But here's something most people overlook. When you widen aperture, you also affect how the image feels. More depth, less flatness, less aggressive digital sharpening needed. If Samsung tuned its processing correctly, the S26 Ultra might produce more natural-looking photos without shouting about it. That's refinement, not reinvention. And refinement is harder to market, but more important long-term. Battery and charging, the trade-off question, still 5,000 milliamp hours. No increase. And yes, some people expected 5,500. But charging moves from 50W to 60W. Now here's the real question. What matters more in daily life? A slightly bigger battery, or faster top-ups and better efficiency? Because if this new chip reduces idle drain and background consumption, you might see better battery life even without a capacity bump. And if that happens, Samsung made the right decision. The numbers didn't grow, but the experience might. The display, stability over flash. The display stays at 6.9 inches, still 120 Hz. Still sharp, still premium, no wild new technology, no experimental panel changes. And honestly, that might be smart, because the Ultra display has been excellent for years. Sometimes upgrading something already great just introduces risk. Samsung seems to be avoiding risk this year, and that theme keeps repeating. The real upgrade decision. Let's be honest, if you own the S25 Ultra, this is not a must upgrade. You're getting better apertures, slightly faster charging, lighter body, new chip. That's evolution, not revolution. But if you're on S23 Ultra, S22 Ultra, or even S21 Ultra, now we're talking about stacked improvements. 2 or 3 generations of refinement at once feels completely different. That's where the value shows up. The bigger picture. The S26 Ultra isn't trying to shock you. It's trying to stabilize the Ultra identity. No dramatic experiments. No controversial removals. No risky design shifts. Just polish. And that tells me something. Samsung believes the Ultra formula is already mature. So instead of chasing headlines, they're smoothing out weaknesses. And sometimes that's the smarter long-term move. The real test. Here's what will actually decide if this phone succeeds. Not the specs. Not the launch event. Not early benchmarks. It's 6 months later. If battery health remains strong, performance doesn't throttle, camera consistency improves, and One UI stays optimized, then these small upgrades become meaningful. Because at this level, longevity matters more than launch hype. So now I want to know your perspective. Are you upgrading for refinement? Or are you waiting for something dramatic? Because this phone isn't trying to be dramatic. It's trying to be dependable. And in 2026, that might actually be the bigger flex. Let me know what you think. And when full real-world testing drops, we'll see whether these subtle changes turn out to be smarter than they look.